Hello there, Capricorn. All right, we're gonna do a Lionsgate portal / new moon reading. All right. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa, and I do tarot readings, not usually zodiac readings such as this, but this is a special occasion, and we're gonna look at some crazy energies. All right. I usually do tarot readings based on like random stuff that I see online or on TikTok that seems to be some weird popular thing that I think is kind of silly or like big things that might be important. I do that too sometimes. Sometimes I contact dead spirits. So yeah, those are the kind of tarot readings I do. I also do witchy unboxing videos, and I talk about crystals sometimes. So there's some like educational crystal content as well. So those playlists are linked in the description if you're interested. All right, so let's get to this reading. All right, we're talking about the new moon, which is the beginning of the cycle. We are beginning a new cycle, so we are also saying goodbye to the next, or to the past cycle. I keep screwing up. To the last cycle, anything that we tried to manifest that didn't come, not meant for us, gone. Okay, so we're saying goodbye to all of that. Planting seeds of intention. All right, so getting to the point. And then she pauses to pick up a card off the floor. All right, we have the 4 aces of the suits on the table here, to represent different aspects of your life. So we're talking about new beginnings with the new cycle, also manifestation with the Lionsgate. So Lionsgate is kind of a little bit blown up, and a little bit, I don't really care for the way it's pushed at people, but for me, it's more about the date of 8/8. I guess there are some astrological aspects that kind of line up with it, but I can't imagine that they're always occurring on 8/8 every year. So there's that. But 8/8 is a manifestation number. Eights are, if you turn it on its side, it's the infinity sign. It's about energy. It's a circuit. It's a complete circuit. What you put out comes back. What you put out comes back. And it's about reciprocation. It's like a reciprocal number, which is not a mathematic term because I know that's a thing, but that's not what I mean. All right, so we're looking at 4 aspects of your life: your heart, your head, your body, or physical things, and spirit. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. What does Capricorn need to know? Yeah, I already did that. What does Capricorn need to know about their heart space? Okay, and head? Okay, and physical? Oh, jeez. And spirit. Okie dokie. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with the heart. Not because it rhymes, just because it's on the left, and I'm in the US and we read from left to right anyway. All right, so in the heart space, we have the star, we have the 3 of wands or rods, and the tower. Okay, so I feel like, okay, we need to have some hope. I don't want to like reveal that card a little too much because, you know, I don't know if anybody's going to complain, but hope. Okay, it's like the North Star. Like, as long as you can see the North Star, you know you're headed in the right direction. Hope, right? I'm also really drawn to the red bird here. Cardinals are known to be an animal that is, you know, spirit kind of. If you lost a loved one and you see a cardinal, it's probably, you know, it can be that loved one bringing you a message. So if that applies, take it. If not, it's not for you. But in your heart space, I feel like there's like a light switch. Like you've been waiting for it. Now, the tower doesn't always necessarily mean something bad is going to happen. It's not a bad omen. It just means that there's a sudden, unintended or unexpected change, right? The tower is more about change, and I just feel like you've been kind of just waiting and hoping for something, and you're like, your patience pays off. But usually the tower comes with something that is less than pleasant. So I do feel like what you've been hoping for, there is a change in that. So it could be what you hope for changes. The hope that you had for a specific thing turns into a new hope for a different thing. There could be a change in that structure. We'll see if anything else comes up in other aspects of your life that might apply. But it could just be what you hope for changes. But it is going to be sudden. You're not going to be expecting it. Maybe even when your back is turned, right? You won't even be looking, and then boom, like something's different. So that's that's all about how you're feeling, and like you're just literally in the feels and not really taking any action on anything. It's almost like something's coming, but you don't know what or when or how or where it's going to show up. So it's like, I'm not going to take action because I don't want to screw it up. Let's move on to your head here. We have the Knight of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords reversed, and the King of Cups. All court cards. So what I want to ask you is, whose voice are you hearing in your head? Because I don't think it's yours. I feel like, and not in a, like, you're hearing voices or the angels are talking to you or anything like that. I mean in a programming kind of, like, who programmed you? What voice is in your head? Not like how do they sound, but things that people have said. And I feel like it comes from multiple places. A parent, a sibling, a teacher, another family member, some kid on the playground when you were little. There are things going on in your head, bouncing around, going all over the place, that were put there by other people's misguided attempts. Sometimes it's a misguided attempt at helping you, by, like desensitizing you, or, there's just some kind of information that's in your head that is not accurate, that is not yours. But we have the King of Cups here to tie it back to the feelings. So how do those voices make you feel? What phrases are you hearing on repeat, that were put there by other people? What did your third grade teacher tell you, that stuck with you, that is kind of eating away at you? Your third grade teacher was not very nice. Somebody said some unkind words to you. Stuff like that. How do they make you feel? What those phrases that pop in every now and then, that self-doubt. You need to focus on that feeling, okay? Because you're not doing anything with your heart right now anyways, other than, wishing and hoping and dreaming and praying or whatever. However that goes. So why don't you go ahead and kind of direct your feelings onto those statements or those things that people have said that just stuck with you, that kind of stung a little bit. Feel those, where those feelings show up. Do they show up in your physical body anywhere? When you focus on how that makes you feel, do you get any physical sensations? We're going to move on to the physical here in a second, but I feel like there's something important to be learned or communicated to you about yourself, when you use your heart to send love to whatever that phrase is that keeps hurting you in your head. Whoever, placed some shitty thing about you in your head that you've been living with your whole life. When you send some love at it, and like, transform it into something better, because I feel like there is something bouncing around in your head that came from, like, a teacher or a kid on the playground, or some nickname that they gave you, or something that you had to endure on, like, repeatedly, phrases or words that kind of hurt, right? They cut. They're sharp. So something kind of sharp. I feel like there's a need to feel what those words mean to you now, because at the time they may have hurt. It may have been traumatic or whatever, made you or hurt your feelings. Who hurt you? Who hurt your feelings? What at that time? There, you you were probably younger and didn't understand, and so it hurt more. But if somebody were to say that to you today, if you looked at somebody in that same kind of relationship dynamic and they said that to you today, how would you feel now? Have you grown? Have you emotionally grown to where you can just put that to bed and be done with it and say, why do I still let this bother me? If somebody were to say that to me today, it wouldn't bother me. So why does it bother me so much now still that it happened then? So, and I'm getting very detailed on that part, but I feel like that's important to take a note of what phrase may be popping up in your head a lot. And just kind of send it some love, okay? And, what all the other shit that I said, I'm not going to repeat myself. All right, we're moving on to physical. We have the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so in the physical, this could be your body, this could be your surroundings, this could be your home, this could be your job. The pentacles represent all of that, right? So this is all your earthly stuff. I feel like this is a good place for you right now. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10, and then we have the 10 here. 10 is like you got it. You reached the goal. You've been given the reward or whatever. Like you won the prize, right? Like that's what that is. It's also in this deck, be careful how much you celebrate. Because you could get thrown off of this wheel just as easily as you got on it, okay? There is a hand cranking this wheel in this card particularly. King of Pentacles also being, well fed, well adorned, but also like leading from a place of practicality. Like these puzzle pieces don't fit together, so no. Like being very practical about things. So be careful. I'm getting a little bit of be careful of how practical you're being with finances. And this could be with your body. This could be an injury here too. So, fair warning. Life is handing you a bunch of stuff that you want, that you asked for, physically. Like, are you going to be able to hold it all? Do you have a place for all of this stuff, or is some things going to fall to the side? Now that applies to your things, it applies to your bank account, it applies to your physical body, however that resonates for you. But in the physical sense, I feel like there's a lot going on here that is positive. But don't take it for granted is kind of what I'm getting from that whole section. All right, so let's move on to spirit. We have the Hangman in reverse, the King of Rods, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, spiritually, I feel like I feel like you're not seeing things from the perspective that you want to or feel you should. There's a lot of big energy here spiritually, but it doesn't feel like it's fitting, if that makes sense. So we have not really a new perspective because he's in reverse. This could be just taking action. This could very well just be taking action, because the Hanged Man can also be a pause, taking a break or pausing. Usually I see it as gaining new perspective on something. But this could be taking action because he's no longer reversed. He's not hanging anymore. He's upright, ready to move. So it could just be that there needs to be some action made here. We also have the King of Wands, Rods, which is also a king who leads by doing, right? He's not afraid to get in the muck with the workers and do it with them. So that may be that there needs to be some physical work done. There needs to be some exercises completed here, right? And then we have the Ace of Cups here, which is, a beginning here. This is an enlightened, energetic, emotional beginning. So there may be a little bit of movement here, but there's some action that needs to be taken. And I'm going to relate this Ace of Cups back to this Ace of Cups and say that this action needs to be heart-based. Again, with, taking the heart to other aspects of your life. How does that feel? Does it feel right? Does it feel aligned with your spiritual beliefs? Taking that feeling into account, then the whole heart aspect of it. when making a decision or deciding on a path or trying to lead anything, make sure you're coming from that heart space. But it is definitely a new spiritual feeling going on here. So putting it all together, overall, I would say that there are some wins and losses here for you. I feel like if you focus on any type of subconscious programming that has happened to you throughout your childhood, or any traumatic events that are playing out on repeat in such a PTSD kind of way, that we get into our feels about that and not so much into our head. But also I feel like there's definitely some shifting going on in the emotional part. So I feel like that does have to do with dealing with some mental issues. There are some mental things that can be worked on and can be successfully worked on, honestly. But financially, in your physical, I feel like there's a lot of good things going on here that maybe you don't take it for granted. Maybe you're taking some things for granted here. But that's what I'm getting for you, Capricorn. I hope that any of that made sense to you. I will see you in the next video. If this resonated, please let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out some other videos before you subscribe. I don't want you to just click the subscribe button right now, because, this isn't all I do. And I don't do this very often. So if you're still here, check out another video before you decide, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.